Alex and Tony Miriani share a passion and business for finding and selling thrifted clothing and collectibles to invoke nostalgia. The Hipster Jeff booth in Dogwood Vintiques started through a shared hobby.
The idea to kind of come up with Hipster Jeff and selling vintage, nostalgic, collectibles and clothing really honestly started just as a hobby. And honestly, it still kind of is a hobby. We actually started off in a smaller booth, and now we're in our larger booth today.
Over the past few years of operation, the booth has evolved under its name, Hipster Jeff.
Hipsters kind of have like a bad rep, negative connotation. Typically, you would associate somebody who's a hipster, somebody who's maybe like a trendsetter, but doesn't want other people to follow their trends necessarily. I think, frankly, everybody wants to have their own unique identity.
We picked Jeff because we live in Jeff City, and we're in, that's where our booth is, in the town of Jeff City. Lots of people think Mr. Mariani's name is Jeff. It is not. He gets asked that all the time, like, oh, are you Jeff? And he's like, no, but we do have the booth Hipster Jeff.
The couple reflects on their time as business partners.
She's definitely much more organized than I am, and she is certainly gung-ho about making sure that we always have fresh inventory.
But I would say it would be Mr. Mariani's eye that catches things. He'll see something and be like, oh, that's really cool, we have to have it. And we're like, oh, how did I miss that?
The mission behind Hipster Jeff extends beyond the tangible.
Hipster Jeff is all about finding things that are going to mean something for other people. That they might, whenever we find shirts that we really love, it's because they have a lot of meaning behind them. Whenever I get vintage shirts, it either reminds me of a really cool experience I went through, or it reminds me of my childhood, or it reminds me of a person. And so that's always our goal. That was our big goal whenever we started this. It's we wanted our booth to whenever they walked in, people smile because they're automatically thinking of cool experiences that go with the things.
Hipster Jeff or other similar outlets are great options for those looking for a bit of nostalgia or their next hidden treasure. Reporting for Nichols Student News, I'm Olivia Cusick.